According to a survey done by S&P Global Mobility, more than 70% of consumers want a premium audio system in their next vehicle. Which begs the question, how exactly are they going to get that system in their vehicle? According to ConsumerAffairs.com, upgrading your car's audio system can range anywhere from between $2,500 and $2,500. For instance, for years, Chevy has partnered with Bose in order to give their customers premium audio systems. However, in the 2024 ZR2, that's the Chevy Colorado, some people reported that the only way to get the Bose system was adding a convenience package for $2,000. Years ago, in order to get premium sound inside your vehicle, you either had to buy an expensive upgrade package from the manufacturer, or you had to get a very expensive aftermarket car stereo. Well, these days that is not the case. What manufacturers have caught on to is the fact that they can actually retain more customers by offering some of these premium packages by default. Meaning that there are more cars on the road these days that have premium head units than it did 10 years ago. Most of these head units come with touchscreen capabilities, wireless connectivity capabilities, and some of them even have a multi-band EQ installed. But for some reason, the one thing that manufacturers are failing on is installing premium door speakers. The truth of the matter is that most factory speakers lack the clarity and bass response that most people desire. When you find yourself in this situation of wanting a better sound quality, you have two options. You can either contact the manufacturer and have them install something more premium at a premium cost, or you can go to your local shop and have them do it for you at a premium cost. At least this is what most of us do, but the fact of the matter is that all you need is a little bit of DIY motivation and you can get this job done yourself in less than a day. In this video, I'm going to show you guys what I did when I found myself in this dilemma and possibly save you a lot of money in the process. So sit back and relax for the next few minutes as I show you guys how I upgraded the speakers in my 2018 Chevy Impala. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now is walk you guys through the process of removing this door. Most car manufacturers follow pretty much the same procedure you see here on the screen, but in case you got this specific model of vehicle, just know that these are the things you're gonna have to do. This window control or main control right here is held in by 3 bolts. I'm showing you the locations of them right now. I'll use a 9/32 to get these off, but I think you can also use an 8mm if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I got my Ryobi right here. Just make sure that if you're gonna use a power tool for this, to make sure it has a variable speed. Those are the 3 bolts that they have to take out. Okay, so right here you see the stock speaker right here that I'm about to pull out. The factory door speaker does come with a safety clip on the back of it. This is a proprietary thing for this make and model. Just know that there's a red tab in which you would have to pull back and down on in order to actually pull this thing out. What I'm showing you guys right now is these little tabs right here. They're stuck in the door, but just know that the door panel actually fastens to these, and this is what they look like once they're reinstalled. So you have different colors. I'm guessing those colors are for different strengths. The grays are on the bottom and the yellows are on the side. Right here, what I wanted to show you guys is the importance of using speakers that are actually weatherproof, because your door do rain inside your door, and your door do have drip panels on the inside to relieve that water. This is a natural process, but make sure that the speakers you're putting inside your doors can actually withstand this, because if not, you're just going to damage them. The speakers that I chose to replace the stock system are going to be the NVX X series 6x9s. I was torn in between them and another component set that NVX offer, which is the 6.5 3-way system, which you guys will see to the right of my little setup that I have here. And I just wanted to sound test everything to kind of see what the sound signature sounds like, and would the 6.5s be a better option over the 6x9s that come pretty much the cutout that is there is standard for 6x9s, but you can get harnesses or adapter plates to actually install these 6.5s as well. And this is my little setup. So the testing is going to be quite simple. I got my tablet here. I got it connected to my home audio system that I have connected in my office, and I'm going to be playing music through them just to see what they sound like up close. This is not a apples to apples comparison because, for one, it's a 6x9s versus a 6.5 three-way component setup. And again, also be very open-minded about what these sound like because they're not enclosing anything. They're sitting here still in the cavity of the packaging in which they come, so none of these speakers are able to breathe and sound as proper as they would if they were in an enclosure. So I'll be toggling them on and off, and we'll see what they sound like. it's time to compare the stock system against that of the aftermarket system. And to be fair, I'm going to disconnect the tweeter here in order to just have the woofers playing. Please keep in mind that the stock system actually is a 2-ohm compatible system, so this speaker will get a little bit louder than the aftermarket one, which is 4-ohm. And this head unit is actually stable in between 4 and 8 ohms of impedance, and it has a peak value of 50 watts. As previously stated in prior videos to this one, the 2018 Chevy Impalas have a pretty good system installed. You guys just seen from the performance of the factory 6x9 that this thing actually sounds pretty good. The only problem is that they don't handle very well under a large amount of power. The systems, the subwoofer systems that I'm putting inside of my car is actually drowning out the capability of these guys. They're not able to get loud enough. But in terms of bass reproduction and clarity, the component system that they have inside the car really it doesn't need to be replaced. This is a non-Bose system and it still sounds, to me, amazing. And other Impala owners have said the exact same thing. So what you see on screen right now is me just taking the factory frame and utilizing the shape that already exists in order to install the NVX 6x9. I chose to go with the NVX 6x9 not because they sound better than the 3-way system, but simply because of the application. I mean, I already have the hardware to install what is already, there in the door, which is a 6x9 hole cutout. So I will go ahead and utilize the hardware that is already there within the real estate that is already there, and I would be repurposing the bracket that came installed in the door. Hopefully you guys seeing the way that I do it could save you some time and effort later on down the road and give you a conscious decision on whether or not this is something that you are willing to tackle or not. On screen, what you see right now is me trying my best to pretty much savor and repurpose the factory harness that came installed on this unit. And the reason that I'm trying to savor this harness right here, this connector, is because I want to leave the car as stock as possible. Upon time of resale, I want to be able to pass this car off to someone who may not be as savvy as I am when it comes to installing. So this gives me the ability to maintain the OEM look and feel of the vehicle. And as you guys can see, now I have the desired height that I'm going to need, and the screws that I use actually panned out pretty good. If you guys are wondering where those screws come from, these screws I got out of my Craig project kit. It came with an assortment of them, and the ones I use are the 1 1/4 inch coarse thread pocket hole screws. Okay, what you guys are looking at on the screen right now is the connection harness that I'm going to be using in order to integrate into the factory sound system. This is a product by Amp Pro, and what this is going to do is allow me to actually grab the pre-amplified signal that's coming from the head unit, meaning that this is uncompressed, there is no roll off on it, this is your raw output from your head unit. And please remember that all products featured in this video will have affiliate links in the descriptions below. Any purchase made through those links help out the channel tremendously. Thank you guys in advance. So the AP4 GM61 gives you access to all channels, and as you guys can see right here, there is an additional channel for your subwoofer. That's why you have 6 of these, and they are color coded with little small rubber bands there. Please don't lose those because they do come off. And as you can see from the rear, I simply brought everything from the front to the rear, and I cut a hole in my carpet so that I can get everything neatly laid out right here. Kind of looks like a mess, but these harnesses make everything so very, very easy. Everything is labeled for you, and temporarily I went ahead and just put some tape there and got everything connected. If you guys would like to see a dedicated video on this device, please leave a comment in the sections below. I didn't think it really fitted this video, so I did not go in detail about it. But it is an intuitive process to get this thing installed, so leave comments in the section below if you would like to see a dedicated video to that. Right now, what you guys are seeing me doing is the one thing that would only be the telltale sign that this is actually an aftermarket system, which is the tweeter. I had to install this inside the door so that it can be unobstructed as far as the sound wave. And I took the crossover and put them inside the door, screwed and mounted with quick disconnects. Now, in the case of the 2018's Impalas, we actually have 6x9s in the doors, okay? That's our front stage. They are component speakers. You have 6x9 woofers in the doors, and you have I believe a 2.5 or 3.5 inch full range speaker on the dash there. So that gives you voice and treble. This right here gives you pretty much a mid to low end for the door. So they sound pretty good. However, in the rear stage of the 2018 Chevy Impala actually have 6.5s back there, and they don't do bass well at all. All right, so I'm gonna play the same song I've been playing. This is from Epidemic Sounds, in case you guys want to go and check out that track. First thing first, my EQ level. If I go to tone settings here, tone settings, you guys will see that's a flat response, okay? Everything is in the middle. My fader, which is over here, is centered, okay? So that means both front and rear stage is playing, left and right both are playing, okay? So let's get this going. Put some headphones on and be able to actually hear the bass at moderate volume. It should sound really, really good to y'all.
And I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Pain on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so I need you. Baby girl love my bob and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Pain on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so I need you. Big flex, my swollen.
Okay, so that kind of gives you an example of what this thing sounds like with stock. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for you guys now is give you guys a demo of what it sounds like with the aftermarket door speakers installed. These are the NVX X series, and the only difference you can see right now is that tweeter right there. I got the tweeters and the doors. Of course, they have to be exposed because you don't want to block them. So essentially what I have right now is almost like a three-way setup. Well, it is a three-way setup because I left the component factory speakers connected because they image and do voice so well. I said, well, I'm going to leave them connected and I'm going to just put the two-way system in the doors, as you guys seen me install. So those speakers are still playing up here and they're still connected to the factory amplifier. Now, I know that this is not an ideal setup because you really want your component sets as close to themselves as possible, right? But this is pretty much the way Chevy had it in the beginning, so I don't think it's gonna hurt a whole lot. But I want you guys just to hear what it sounds like now. What I've done, same thing. Tone settings are flat. I do have the component speakers running through a DSP. I have an external amplifier back there. Everything has been processed through the DSP, but the DSP it's a flat response across the board. So all frequencies are going through the DSP and allowed to go through the speakers. Then I'm gonna give you guys a DSP version of it. So I'm gonna play this the way that it is, unprocessed at all. Then I'm gonna do some filtering through the DSP, and I'm gonna let you guys see how awesome a DSP can be when cleaning up a signal. But enough talk, let's jump right off into this.
Baby girl, that might bop and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see through. Ain't on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you. Baby girl, love my vibe and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see through. Ain't on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you. Big flex, my swollen, double cup and I'm pulled up. Niggas hating like.
All right, so let's pause this. Now, one thing I noticed immediately when I first hooked this up, right? I did not change the door speakers just yet. They will be getting the NVX 6.5, but right now in the rear are the factory speakers. Now, I do have them connected to the external amplifier. Now, this is the thing. Those speakers are 2 ohm stable, so they are being overpowered quite a bit right now because those speakers were not meant to play bass. The factory amplifier that came with this car had them rolling off on the low end and on the high end. What I did, I went in my DSP, I took all that out. I took the bass out of the rear and I took the high side of the treble out of the rears, and I also adjusted the doors. Now I'm gonna be planning for you with what the DSP sounds like. All right, so here we go.
Don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you. Baby girl love my vibe and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see through. Ain't on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you. Big flex, my swollen, double cup and I'm pulled.
And there you go. Much cleaner sound. You can turn this thing all the way up. You don't get any ear fatigue or none of that. This sounds amazing because everything is balanced now. The DSP allows you to take away things that these speakers cannot do and allows you to highlight what they can do. And that's what's going on right here. The way I got my three-way front stage set up is that these ones up here are already by factory. Like I said, they're doing most of anything 1,000 hertz all the way to around 8,000 hertz, then they fall off. They're doing really, really well. And down here in these doors, in the DSP, I just took that out of these two. I did more bass. I did bass from, I believe, 40 hertz all the way up until, and it rose off at around 1,000 or maybe 1,500. And then I allow it to pick back up at around, I believe, 5,000 or so. I allow it to pick back up and then run to 20K, because that's what this component set is happy at, is happy doing that. You know, and for me, it worked the best. Hopefully you guys can hear the difference, and this encourage you guys to go out and maybe, save a couple coins to get you a DSP, because it's really, really worth it. Either get an independent DSP or get a system that already has the DSP integrated, whether that's your head unit with a DSP or the amplifier itself with a DSP. Trust me, you can thank me later. Thanks for visiting the channel to help you simplify car audio. It's the Budget Basshead, and I'm out.